Israel, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad, Baruch, Shem Kevo, Ma'uto, Leolam, Vayed. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our Yah, the Lord is one. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom, forever and ever. All praises to the Most High Yah.
If I should ever leave and wanna come home, please don't close the door on me. If I should go astray, I know your love comes someday.
Yes, Yah.
If I should ever leave, please don't close the door on me. If I should go astray, I know your love comes someday. If I should ever leave,
Don't close your door. Oh.
I should go astray,
And I know your love. I know your love. Sound the chauffeur.
if I should ever leave,
I know you will. Oh,
I should go astray.
if I should go, I know your love.
I should ever I know your love. I know your love.
If I should.
If I go astray, if I ever leave,
Ever leave. Oh, if I ever leave. Oh, please don't close your door on me.
Should go astray. I know your love will bring you home someday. Come back home, come back home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. If I should go astray.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. On the fourth day, we get up this morning seeking him first, the kingdom of the Most High Yah, and all his righteousness, knowing that all things shall be added unto us. Therefore, we come seeking, knocking, and asking, because we know that the Most High Yah is more than able. We know that the Most High Yah will create a way of escape for us. We know that this is the time of the Most High Yah showing himself to us like never before. I'm talking about manifestation. I'm talking about showing up in your very thoughts, now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above what I thought or even asked for. He's showing up in our thoughts, but all you got to do is seek him first. The kingdom of the Most High Yah, in all his righteousness, knowing that all things shall be added unto you. Come on in here this morning. Boker Tov, Grand Rising. I'm excited because it is the fourth day, which means I got a fourth man in the fire with me. So you need to tell the world right now, I might be in this world, but I'm not of this world. And even if you would throw me into the fire, the Most High Yah that I serve will deliver me. Don't you know he will deliver you? Come on now. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but my Yah shall deliver us from them all. Come on in here, King Reynard, King Regina. Is that who I see? Come on, Queen Stephanie. All we have to do is keep seeking him first. The kingdom of the Most High Yah and all his righteousness, knowing that all things shall be added unto us. So we're going to keep on seeking. We're going to keep knocking, and we're going to keep asking. Because let me tell you one thing, your consistency will get you everywhere. Your consistency will tell the Most High Yah that you are yielding to his will. You're saying, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. Thou kingdom come, thou will be done. Because we're seeking him like never before. We already said we're going to deny ourselves. We're walking in a season of self-control. Therefore, everything we do, we're yielding to the will of the Most High Yah. But you know, this flesh is something else. It always wants to rise up. And the spirit, man, the Ruach HaKodesh have to tell you all the time, no, that is not of the Most High Yah. No, that is not applying the principles. No, that's not his thoughts. His thoughts are not your thoughts. As high as the heavens is high, they're higher than yours. So you have to continually seek him. Or else you'll fall off into your own thoughts, into your own ideas, you know, your own ideology. You'll start thinking for yourself. And the Most High Yah is telling you, no, no, no. I need you to be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. I need you to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's going to take a different way to think. It's going to take a different way to definitely walk. It's going to take a different way to talk, because salvation is a lifestyle. It's how we live our lives. Every single day, the Torah gives us teachings and instruction. It's like that guardrail, like if you're driving around and you know you can fall off the edge. It's that guardrail that's going to protect you. It's the Ruach HaKodesh giving you unction to say, hey, this is not the way to go and not the thing to be doing. We have to begin to walk in the principles of the Most High Yah and apply them to our lives. So in the time of relationships, men, you're going to have to be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You have to know your purpose. A lot of times we don't know our purpose in life and how the Most High Yah created us to be in relationship with one another. So we have to go back and get the manual. which is the Torah, from Genesis to Revelation, and begin to read his word and apply it to our lives and know what the Most High Yah said, not what you said, not your definition of a relationship. Well, you know, a queen got to have this, and this. Really? Really? What does the word says? The word says that she's a helpmeet.
Yeah.
That's what the word says. And the word says that, you know, she was pulled out of you. So she came to help you. So she don't need to do this, and this. She needs to be walking in the instructions of the Most High Yah. And kings, you better know who you are, else you will lower your standards. And you'll walk with any old thing. And the Most High Yah is like, that is not a queen. No, that is not a queen. So we have to choose. And that's the reason why the Most High Yah lay before us blessings and curses, life and death. Choose life. And sometime in relationships, we done chose death, y'all. We done chose death. I'm talking to the married man. I'm talking to the single man. I'm talking to the divorced man. I'm talking to the man that's just separated right now. Like, I don't even know what to do with my life in this relationship. So the Most High Yah come to give us an understanding of the purpose and power of the man. So I'm so excited. We started this series last week. And it's going to be amazing. So strap on your Holy Ghost seatbelt this morning, because we are going for a Holy Ghost ride. Come on, kings. Come on, kings. He that have an ear, let him hear this morning what the Spirit of the Most High Yah is saying. Come on, you got to have a renewed mind. Don't come into this thing saying, I already know what it is to be a man. You ain't got to tell me how to be a man. Well, obviously, the word needs to tell you how to be a man, not Dr. J. I'm talking about the word from Genesis to Revelation. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with Yah, and the word was Yah, and the word became what? Flesh, and dwelt among us. Yahushua came that we would know how to live our lives. So I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. The word is. Amen. Apply the word to your life. Remember? Apply the word. Thank you, Most High Yah. Ooh, you already know I'm trying to teach them, child. So I'm thankful right now that you done moved me out the way. So if it bothers you that maybe a woman is teaching, close your eyes. Listen to the Spirit. It's what's coming out of the spirit man, because we were created spirit man. Our gender is male, female. But when he created us and blew the breath of life into us, it's the spirit man that woke up. Yeah. So it's the spirit man that woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to teach you. All right, now, Most High, gone from Genesis to Revelation, teach this thing. Whoa, Most High, I come lifting up everyone on YouTube live this morning. The ones that are listening live and the ones that will listen later. Give them an ear to hear. Faith comes by hearing. Give them an ear to hear. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of the Most High Yah. So Yah has one word for you this morning. Shema. Hear, listen, and obey. And I will forever give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And it's in the mighty, mighty name of Yahushua I pray. All praises to the Most High Yah. The word says, if 2 or 3 gather together in his name, that he would be in the midst. The word says, if 2 touch and agree on anything, it shall be done. And I know I can't do nothing this morning without this word being established through the law, the prophets, and the writings. So the method style of study, it is a process of studying the word of Ahaya, Asha, Ahaya, which is I am that I am in Hebrew, the great I am, the Yah of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we seek his guidance and live in a kingdom lifestyle. The Torah is the Most High Yah's teachings and instructions and 613 principles. Is where the Creator speaks, mother. And then we search the witnesses through the books of the prophets, the Nevi'im, and the books of the writings, the Ketuvim. Collectively, the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim, or identified as the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament's proper title. And it's the only book that Yahushua studied in reference throughout the New Testament. Job chapter 34, verse 16. If now thou hast understanding, what? Hear this. Hearken to the voice of my words. Stop it. Job chapter 34, verse 16. If now thou hast understanding, hear this. Hearken to the voice of my words. Today we look to the word understand. What? Hebrews number 8085. Shema, to hear with attention or interest. Listen to understand. You better stop it, Mosiah. The Torah testifies. Genesis chapter 11, verse 7. Go now. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their languages, that they may not understand one another's speech. All right now. The prophets proclaim. Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 2. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women, and all that could hear with understanding upon the first day of the 7th month. Stop it. Come on, Most High. The writings bear witness. 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 9. Give therefore thou servant an understanding. Give forth thou servant an understanding. Yeah. 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 9. I'm going to try that again. Give therefore thou servant an understanding, hard to judge thou people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this, thou so great a people? Stop it, Most High. We have completed the method style of study this morning, reviewing understand. First, we recognize the standard set in the Torah in 613 principles. Then we search the witnesses in the books of the prophets, the Nevi'im, and the books of the writings, the Ketuvim. Collectively, the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim, or identified as the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament's proper title. And it's the only book that Yahushua studied in reference throughout the New Testament. 5 a.m. prayer. We must seek and search the scriptures for the Most High's understanding, and not our own, which will give us revelation about our purpose. And then we will be able to walk in wisdom and apply what the Most High Yah has instructed. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge the Most High Yah, because he is directing your path. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 1. Hear, ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be unto you, 5 a.m. prayer community. It is time that we begin to walk in understanding. This is the undoing of the years of misunderstanding of your purpose and the scriptures that have led so many of us astray. So now, are you ready for the word of Yah, the father of Abraham, the father of Isaac, the father of Jacob? Are you ready for the word of Yah, the father of Abraham, the father of Isaac, the father of Jacob? This morning, we are coming out of the book of Genesis, our foundational scripture. Bereshit in Hebrew, chapter 1 in its entirety. Again, this morning, we are coming out of the book of Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 1 in its entirety, and it reads, in the beginning, Yah created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the waters. And Yah said, let there be light, and there was light. And Yah saw the light, that it was good, and Yah divided the light from the darkness. And Yah called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening in the morning for the first day. And Yah said, let there be fragments in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yah made the fragments and divided the waters which were under the fragments from under the water which was above the fragments, and it was so. And Yah called the fragments heaven in the evening, in the morning, were the second day. And Yah said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Yah called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. That was us people. And Yah saw that it was good. And Yah said, let the earth bring forth grass. You know, that herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself. Come on, Yahushua, upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed, and after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself, and after his kind. And Yah saw it was good. And the evening and the morning was the third day. Come on, divine intervention. And Yah said, let there be lights in the fragment of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. Come on, feasts. And let them be for lights in the fragments of the heavens to give light upon the earth. And guess what? It was so. And Yah made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. And Yah set them in the fragments of heaven to give light upon the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and divide the light from the darkness. And Yah saw it was good. And the evening and the morning was the fourth day. Come on, Yahushua. And Yah said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that has life, and the fowl that may fly above the earth, and the open fragments of heaven. And Yah created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after his kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Yah saw it was good. And Yah said, and Yah blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the fowl multiply the earth. In the evening and the morning was the fifth day. And Yah said, let us bring forth the living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping things, and the beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And Yah made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And Yah saw that it was good. And Yah said, here come Dr. J. Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Yah created man in his own image. In the image of Yah created he him, male and female created he them. And Yah blessed them. And Yah said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. And Yah said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, and which the fruit of every tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And Yah saw everything that he had made, and behold, Dr. J was very good. In the evening, in the morning, was the sixth day. May the Most High Yah add a blessing to the reading and hearing of his most holy word. Now, we were talking about the 7 principles of purpose according to the Most High. The 7 principles of purpose. So number 1, Yah is a Yah of purpose. Yah is a purposeful being. He has a purpose for everything he has ever done. He established his purpose before he created what was needed to be fulfilled. We kind of went over this. What his plan is intentional, meaningful, and guaranteed to succeed. This theme is found throughout the Bible. Consider these scriptures. The Most High Almighty has sworn, surely as I have planned, so it will be, and as I have purposed, so it will stand. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 24. The plans of the Most High stands firm forever, the purposes of his heart through all generations. Psalms chapter 33, verse 11. As the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater, so is my word that goes from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 10 through 11. Men swear by someone greater than themselves, and the oath confirms what is said and puts an end to all arguments, because Yah wanted to make the unchanging nature of his purpose very clear to the heirs of what was promised. He confirmed it with an oath. Heard Hebrews chapter 6, verse 16 through 17. I'm kind of off right now because I know we already did this. Yah has purposes that he determines beforehand and then carries it out. These includes plans for humanity as a whole and plans for males and females who carry out humanity purposes. To bring this to a personal level, this includes plans for you and me. Yah does not do anything on a whim or without knowing the end result. The origins of humanities are described in the book of Genesis, which means beginning. However, the creation that we read about in Genesis was not the real beginning. I would like to call Genesis the end result after Yah finished his thought purposes. When Yah finished deciding what he wanted to do, then he created. First, Yah predetermined, predestined, or purpose everything. Then he produced it. This concept is crucial to our understanding of purpose. It means that Genesis was not the beginning of a supernatural experience with an unknown outcome. Genesis was the beginning of the production of something that was sure. So when we talk about what happened in Genesis, we're really talking about what happened after Yah finished thinking. Therefore, in Genesis, we are looking at the startup of the project, as I call it. Those of you who are studying project management know that this is an important step in the process of building. When you reach the startup phase, it means that you have all the plans drawn, all the physical resources in place, all the management resources in order, and now you're ready to begin. That's Genesis. Do you begin building a house when you dig the foundation? No, you begin building it when the idea is conceived. This means that the finished house is in the unseen. People pass by the property and don't see it. However, to you who understand and know what is going on, it is already finished. Digging the foundation is the beginning of the implementation of your purpose. So after you dig the foundation, when someone asks you, what are you doing? Your answer is very definite. You point to the architect, rendering of the house, and you say, I am building this. Yah revealed this to me in a very visual way. There was a house on the street. It's called Shirley Street. At one time, there was only a parking lot there. One day, when I was driving along the street, I saw a large sign with a beautifully painted picture of a building. There was no building on the site yet, but there was a big sign in the building of the name of the building. It showed the landscape, the color of the building, the windows, everything. It was detailed. It was a detailed picture of what the complete building would look like. The sign said, coming soon. I drove past the lot and sensed the Holy Spirit saying to me, did you see that? I said, see what? He said, did you see the finished? Did I see the finish? I drove to the post office and came back around to take another look at the painting, and it said, there it is, the finish. The construction company was showing us the end of their purpose. To have vision means to see something coming into view as if it was already there. The company had a vision of this building. Likewise, Yah in his vision is not guessing about his plans for us, for humanity as a whole, or for each of us individually. Yah has already decided on his purpose. He has a complete picture. It's on his drawing board. It's his vision for us. It isn't an afterthought. In Genesis chapter 1, we read how he began to dig the foundation of humanity. We'll pick up on this theme in chapter 4 because it is essential to understanding the nature and purpose of the male. What we need to understand at this point is that when Yah created male and female, he had already predetermined what they were supposed to be and do. They are not divine experiments. Together, they are intentional divine projects with a determined purpose. Number 2, Yah created everything with a purpose. Yah created everything with a purpose in mind, and he also created it with the ability to fulfill its purpose. Everything Yah has made is the way it is because that's the way it was created. The way dictates its makeup. The why, dictates its makeup. The purpose of a thing determines its nature, its design, and its features. You don't make something until you know what you want and why you want it. You don't make something until you know what you want and why you want it. You'll never find a manufacturer starting a project in a plant holding it will turn out to be something useful. Its purpose and design are complete before production starts. For example, if a manufacturer decides he wants to build a apparatus that can both record, we already did this, moving pictures onto a magnetic tape for replay and broadcast them live through the medium of television, then he has created a product, a video camera, but the manufacturer designed it himself. What more, everything in the camera, the video camera, is necessary for its purpose functioning. If you could look inside such a camera, you would see things that you didn't know where were there and that you don't know the use of. Yet nothing in that product is there for the fun of it. As a matter of fact, because it is so expensive, there had better be nothing in it. It's just for the fun of it. Let me give you another illustration. It's even closer to home than your big toe. Are you aware that if your big toe were cut off, you would lose your balance and fall down? You probably never think about your big toe until you stomp it. Then it just seems like it's annoyance. Yet it keeps you standing up when you lean forward. Your big toe isn't there just for fun. Thank Yah for your big toes. There's also a purpose for your fingernails. Some of you know exactly how important they are because you've had an accident and you lost one. Your fingernails are there to protect the softer skin on your fingers. Since Yah created everything with a purpose, both male and females need to go to him if they want to know their reason for being. If they try to change his plan or fight against them, they are in essence fighting against themselves because they're working against their own nature, their own makeup. The way they function was based on the manufacturer's design. Moreover, because Yah is love, his plans embody what is best for us, so they would also be working against their own highest good. Yah's purpose requires two genders working together in cooperation to accomplish a mutual vision. Accordingly, males and females have complementary designs that enable them to fulfill Yah's purpose together. Number 3, not every purpose is known to us. Although everyone and everything on earth has a purpose, this does not mean that we are aware of their purposes. When human beings as a race turn their backs on Yah and his ways, as we learn about in Genesis chapter 3, they ended up losing their knowledge of Yah's intent for themselves and for the world. Rejecting Yah was the equivalent of buying a sophisticated and intrinsic piece of equipment and then throwing away the user's manual. If you get something to work under those circumstances, it is only by pure chance. The more likely scenarios is that you will never get it to function properly. You will always miss out on the many features and functions it has to offer. It will never fulfill its complete purpose. Likewise, humanity has not honored the fact that Yah's creation and his direction for living were established for a specific reason, in that if that purpose continued to be abandoned, males and females will never function properly as human beings. This is a very dangerous situation for them to be in because it leads right to the next principle. Number 4, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Say it again. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Whenever purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Suppose I'm Henry T. Ford. I'm going to add a motor to a carriage and build a product called a motor car. I know the purpose before I built this vehicle. It will enable people to be more mobile on land. Now, suppose you decide I want to use this motor car as a boat and you drive it off a cliff and into the water. What will happen? You're probably going to drown and the car is going to be ruined. Why? The car was built to fulfill a specific purpose. And if you do not use it according to its purpose, then you will likely be harmed in the process. We need to keep from diving off the cliff of life by understanding and fulfilling our purpose as human beings. Here's another aspect of this principle. The penalty for drinking poison is death from poisoning. You don't need Yah to kill you after you have swallowed poison. What this means for us is that Yah doesn't have to do anything to judge us for abusing our lives. We judge ourselves by receiving the consequences of our participation in harmful practices based on our determination to live according to our own knowledge rather than His. Consequently, we are victims of our own decisions. Say it again, Dr. J. Consequently, we are victims of our own decisions, not Yah's judgment. Write that down. Consequently, we are victims of our own decisions, not of Yah's judgment. These examples demonstrate that if you don't know the purpose of something, you will misuse or abuse it in some way. That's why it's possible to be sincerely wrong. Say it again. That's why it's possible to be sincerely wrong. It's possible to be faithfully wrong. It's possible to be seriously wrong. You're serious, but you're wrong because you don't know the purpose for the thing you're involved in. I'm going to say that again. These examples demonstrate that if you don't know the purpose of something, you will misuse or abuse it in some kind of way. That's why it's possible to be sincerely wrong. It's possible to be faithfully wrong. It's possible to be seriously wrong. You're serious, but you're wrong because you don't know the purpose for the thing you're involved in. This principle holds true for everything, including people. Say it again. This principle holds true for everything, including people. How many people go into marriages very seriously? I do. How many people go into marriage very seriously? Most people do. They go. They're very serious when they go into a marriage, but then they die in 3 months. At least their love dies. Then their family and friends try to figure out what happened. Their marriage failed because they didn't understand the purpose of marriage, the purpose of a mate, or the purpose of family. Because they didn't understand these things, they abused their union. So you were serious about marriage. You went down to the altar. You took vows. You said, I do. And then about 3 months, the love died. People begin to wonder and try to figure out what happened. The problem is you went into a marriage seriously, but you didn't understand the purpose of your mate. You didn't understand the purpose of family. You just didn't understand the purpose of marriage. And because they didn't understand these things, they abused the union. And that's something to think about. People abuse things because they just don't know their purposes or because they disregard those purposes. When males and females don't know Yah's intentions, they end up abusing each other, even if they don't mean to. If males are going to solve their current identity crisis and fulfill their purpose as men, husbands, and fathers, they must rediscover Yah's plan for them. Otherwise, they will hurt those around them, even if it's unintentional. Number 5, principle of purpose. To discover purpose, never ask the creation, ask the creator. Turn up the heat. Number 5, to discover purpose, never ask the creation, ask the creator. If you want to know the purpose of something, don't ask the thing itself why it didn't plan, design, or build itself. Say it again. If you want to know the purpose of something, don't ask the thing itself why it didn't plan, design, or build itself. Only the manufacturer knows the why and how of his product. No one else truly knows or does. That is why he can claim perfect relationship with his product. Say it again. That is why he can claim perfect relationship with his product. Therefore, if you're going to use something, the first question you need to ask, who made this? Say it again. Therefore, if you're going to use something, the first question you need to ask is, who made this? If you buy a certain kind of guitar, you need to consult the manufacturer who made the particular guitar. That is why the company includes an instructional booklet with the instrument. The booklet tells you how to use the guitar based on its purposes. You don't use it to paddle a boat. You don't use it to play baseball. In other words, the manufacturer sent you the manual to protect you from abusing the product and so that you could have the full enjoyment of it. The point is this: to understand how we function as human beings, as males and females, we need to go to the manual given to us by the designer and manufacturer who created us, the Bible. Yah knew exactly what he wanted when he thought of the male. Remember that he created both male and female after he decided what each should be in order to fulfill his purposes and plans, and that he designed them accordingly. This means that he is the only one who knows how humanity is intended to function. If you have any questions about why you are here, you should check the manual. If you don't know the purpose of a thing, all you can do is experiment. Everybody who doesn't know his or her purpose is just experimenting in life. Let me use marriage as an illustration again. Say it again. Let me use marriage as an illustration again. Do you know what most marriages are today? That's a question. Do you know what most marriages are today? Big experiments. Huh? Do you know what most marriages are today? Big experiments. I don't really know what a wife is for, but I'm old enough to get married, so I'm going to have one. You get married because you're 25? All right. Then what? Do you know what you have? No, but she looks good. What's a wife for? Hey, man, to have sex with and to clean the kitchen. This is a big experiment. But guess what? After 3 weeks, you realize she doesn't agree with your definition. All right now. But guess what? After 3 weeks, you realize she doesn't agree with your definition. The experiment isn't working. She isn't cleaning those dishes and she isn't into being a living sacrifice every night. She begins to ask for things like time. She wants love and affection and attention. She wants appreciation. Hey, I didn't bargain for all that. Well, my friend, marriage is not a trial run. Well, my friend, marriage is not a trial run. Again, whenever you don't know the purpose of a thing, you're experimenting. That's what many people, especially young people, are doing with life. They don't know what education is for, so they treat school like an experiment. They skip classes and spend time partying and spend their time partying. Then they flunk out. They experiment with sex and sexual identity, and they end up in all kinds of problems. They experiment with drugs and hurt their bodies. Dr. Miles Monroe said, when I was a boy, I was tempted to experiment in order to find out about life. I'm grateful Yah protected me from much of that. But many of the young people whom I grew up with did not make it through their experimentation. The experiment blew up. Some are dead. The bodies of others are contaminated and wrecked from using destructive substance. They didn't know the purpose of the elements that they were using. I like to say to young people listening to this series, if you don't know why you were born, the worst people to ask are your friends, because your friends are trying to figure out why they're here too. If you want to know your reason for existence, don't ask another product, ask the manufacturer. Everyone else is guessing. What we've been doing all these years is asking the product why it exists. What we've been doing all these years is asking the product why it exists. Because the world doesn't understand much about the reason for existence of things. It functions like one big experiment lab. All of us seem to have assuming the position of a scientist. We have imagined that we have the time and intelligence to discover the reason of our existence through experimentation. Then we find out that life is short and that we're very poor researchers. Life is too precious to treat like a trial run. Say it again, Dr. J. Life is too precious to treat it like a trial run. The only way to avoid the cost of trial and error is to learn the purpose of your life. Think about a car mechanic. If he's just experimenting, he won't last in the automotive business. If he says, I wonder what this part is for. Let me guess what section of the engine I should attach it to. That's an experiment. He doesn't know what the manufacturer had in mind. Well, if you wouldn't let an inexperienced mechanic work on your car, what about your life? You know you always take your car to the dealership that it came from. We don't use no shade tree mechanics. Talking about, Bobo down the road, he could fix your car. Girl, no. Bobo been fixing cars since we was in elementary school, and he still can't fix a car. No. So we're not going to experiment, right? So you wouldn't take your car to somebody that's inexperienced. No university professor know people well enough to write a definite book about what makes us tick. No psychiatrist or psychiatrist truly knows me. Y'all wrote a book on this product, and the product is me. Yah wrote a book on his product, and the product is me. Tell yourself, I'm an expensive product. Say it again, Dr. J. Tell yourself, I'm an expensive product. I won't let anybody experiment with me. Come on now. I won't let anyone experiment with me. It's a dangerous thing for us to experiment with this precious commodity called life. Therefore, if a man wants to know his reason for living, he must look to Yah in his manual, not to other males. If he looks to himself or others, he will travel an unreliable and hazardous course in life. Principle number 6, a purpose. We find purpose only in the mind of our maker. This is so good. We find purpose only in the mind of our maker. If you remember this principle all your life, if you remember this principle all your life, you'll be safe. Before you buy something, check to see who made it. Hello, somebody. If you remember this principle all your life, you'll be safe. Before you buy something, check to see who made it. Right away, you'll know what was in the mind of the maker. If you buy a shirt on sale at a discount store and you see the store's label in the collar, you'll treat it differently than if you buy a Pierre Cardin shirt. You might toss the discount shirt on the chair, but you'll put the designer shirt on a hanger in the closet. We need to understand the mind of our maker. How do we know this, or how do we do this? By learning how he thinks. Be ye transformed. Come on, introduction. By the renewing of your mind. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. As high as the heaven is high, they're higher than yours. We need to understand the mind of our maker. How do we do this? By learning how he thinks. The only way for us to succeed is by discovering and living in the purposes of our maker, by undergoing a transformation. You better come on in the way we think about ourselves based on his original intentions for us. That transformation comes by a renewal of our minds. Therefore, I urge you, brothers, in view of Yah's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to Yah. This is your spiritual act of worship. Do not conform any longer to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what Yah's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will, according to Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. Yah's ways will transform your spiritual mind and your outlook. Say it again, Dr. J. Yah's ways will transform your spiritual mind and your outlook. When you present yourself to Yah and learn from him, you will begin to understand his purpose, not your purpose. When you present yourself to Yah and learn from him, you will begin to understand his purpose. The law of the Most High is perfect, reviving the soul. The statutes of the Most High are trustworthy, making wise the simple. Psalms chapter 19, verse 7. The greatest way for you to find purpose is to yield your life to the manufacturer. Say it again. The greatest way for you to find purpose is to yield your life to the manufacturer. You shouldn't come to Yah because it's a religious thing to do. You shouldn't come to Yah because everybody is doing it. You shouldn't come to Yah because it's good to be a part of a community. You should come to Yah because you want to find out how not to waste your life. No one knows you like the one who made you. That's the bottom line. Come on, Most High. We are so special to Yah that he sent his only son to die for us. There must be something unique about each one of us for Yah to want to us to receive salvation so that we can fulfill the purpose for which he gave us life. We need to seek him earnestly in order to discover that purpose. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. According to Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 13. Thus, the male will fulfill his purpose only if he seeks the mind of his maker with all his heart. When Yah's plan unfold before him, his fragmented life will become an orderly whole, and he can become the man he was meant to be. Principle number 7 of purpose. Yah's purpose is the key to our fulfillment. Say it again. Yah's purpose is the key to our fulfillment. You can never be totally and completely satisfied until you find your purpose and live in it, and then live in it. You cannot do what you're supposed to do until you discover what you are supposed to do. What? You cannot do what you're supposed to do until you discover what you are supposed to do. And if you do what you're not supposed to do, you're not going to be fulfilled. You're wasting your time. Wow. You're wasting time. Y'all better come on now, because we done wasted too much time. You're wasting time. You're abusing your life. Stop it right now. I was speaking about purpose at a community in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A lady came up to me after the service and said, I'm 56 years old. Where were you 56 years ago? I said, what do you mean? She said, you're the first person ever to come into my life and to help me understand that I have a reason for living and I can give an account of for 56 years right now. Where were you 56 years ago? Sometimes people begin to feel the way that woman did. They're distressed because they've wasted so much time. If this is your situation, don't be discouraged. One of the wonderful things about Yah is that he has a way of restoring the years that the locusts have eaten. One of the wonderful things about Yah is that he has a way of restoring the years that the locusts have eaten. You better see Joel chapter 2, verse 23 through 26. When you go to him, he knows how to make up for the time that you've lost. Come on, Queen Doreen. When you go to him, he knows how to make up for the time that you've lost. Yet Yah would prefer that we follow him and know our purpose all our lives. That is why the word of Yah says very strongly to young people, remember your creator in the days of your youth, according to Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. The Bible is saying to us, remember Yah now, not when you finish partying and ruining your health with drugs, alcohol, and tobacco, so that you say, well, I'm sick now, I better find Yah. Don't wait until after you have messed up your life to remember Yah. Remember your creator in the days of your youth. Why? Yah wants you to remember the manufacturer early so that he can set you on course for your entire life. You didn't say, Yah didn't say, remember the university. Say it again. Yah didn't say, remember the university. He didn't say, remember the school guidance counselor or remember what your friends are saying. They can give you only their opinion about what you should do. They can only give you their opinion about what you should do. Yah said, remember your creator, the manufacturer, the one who made you. Remember him first while you're young. Why? So that the evil days won't rob your life. Some of you know what I'm talking about because you've been there and now regret it. Some of you might still be in the middle of it. Others of you might not be using harmful substance, but you're still ruining your life. You're working 14 hours a day trying to be successful, but you're not doing what you were put on earth to do. You're not going to be fulfilled. Wouldn't it be great to live every day effectively doing exactly what you were born to do? There's no fulfillment without knowing your purpose. There's no fulfillment without knowing your purpose. There's no fulfillment without knowing your purpose. Remember the painting of that building on Shirley Street? After I had driven past the sign the second time, the Holy Spirit said to me, if you were to see the men working on that project, digging up all the mud and muck, all the rocks and everything, making big holes, and if you were to ask them what they were doing, they would say, we're moving towards that. We are building that. They could tell you exactly where they were headed. I have never forgotten that lesson. I have a question for you. All right. I have a question for you. Is your life similar to that? If someone were to ask you what you're doing, could you tell them you're headed somewhere? Could you tell them where? Are you so clear about your dream that you could paint a picture of it? If you know where you're going, then when someone doesn't understand the reason of the mud, the muck, the water, and the hole, it doesn't matter. All that might not look right, but you see, that's the process. The process gets really messy sometimes. Say it again. The process gets really messy sometimes. When you're in the midst of the process, your life might not look like it's becoming anything. But take careful note. There's a painting of you. Yah has painted it for you in his word. Anytime you get bogged down in the mud and the muck, every time you get discouraged, you can look at this painting. When a person works in construction, sometimes the contractor will tell him to dig a trench. He can't see what this trench has to do with anything, but he has to trust him. He digs the trench because he knows the contractor sees things he doesn't know about. Likewise, Yah is in the business of constructing us and our lives. He is the contractor. Sometimes he will tell you to do something and he won't explain much about it. You may be in the middle of something right now, and he's told you to do, but you don't understand. It doesn't seem to make any sense. You feel like you're digging a trench. You're saying, this isn't what I bargained for. Maybe your job is a trench. Maybe your marriage is a trench. But when you are pursuing Yah and his purposes, he's saying, don't quit. You don't understand. Just stay where you are. We're building something here. Just dig the trench. A man may be able to see the outcome of Yah's purposes in his life 20 years into the future, or only one day ahead. Yet, if he's living in Yah's plan for him, he has found the key to his existence. Yah put your purpose within you. What you say? Yah put your purpose within you. Becoming what Yah has purposed for you not only allows you to be effectively, to live effectively. Becoming what Yah has purposed for you not only allows you to live effectively, but also to worship your Creator, who has given you ideas, talents, resources, and energy to fulfill your desires and plans for your life. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5 says, the purposes of a man's heart are deep waters, but a man of understanding draws them out. That's a powerful statement, isn't it? The purposes of a man's heart are deep waters. That means your purpose is inside of you. Yah has placed it deeply within you. However, in order to draw it out, you need to be assisted by Yah's wisdom and revelation, because your purpose was born in the mind of your maker. Remember that Yah created the male with a specific purpose in mind, and he designed him uniquely for that purpose. Therefore, a man's purposes inherit characteristics and qualities that are necessary for his functioning and fulfillment as a male. Moreover, when a man identifies, understands, effectively applies, and manifests these qualities in his life and relationships, the female will also experience a fulfillment she has always longed for. As we've seen, it is beneficial to look at the overall picture before seeing how all the details fit into it. In order for a man to know Yah's purpose for him as a male or as an individual, he first needs to see Yah's purposes for humanity as a whole. In the next teaching, we are going to take a close look at Yah's wisdom and revelation in regard to the creation of man. Now, here are your chapter principles. Number 1, Yah is a Yah of purpose. Number 2, what Yah plans is intentional, meaningful, and guaranteed to be successful. Number 3, Yah created everything with a purpose. Number 4, the purpose of something determines its nature, design, and features. Number 5, not every purpose is known to us because we have lost our understanding of Yah's original intent for us. Number 6, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Number 7, to discover the purpose of something, never ask the creation, ask the creator. Number 8, If we don't know the purpose of our lives, we're just experimenting. Number 9, when you go to Yah, he knows how to make up for time that you lost from not knowing your purpose. Number 10, we find our purpose only in the mind of our maker. Number 11, Yah's purpose is the key to our fulfillment. Number 12, Yah put your purpose within you. To draw it out, you need to be assisted by his wisdom and revelation. All praises to the Most High Yah. All praises to the Most High Yah.
Now connected to S's iPhone.
I should ever leave and wanna come home. Please don't close the door on me.
Yes, Yah.
If I should go astray,
I know your love
come someday.
if I should ever be. If I should go astray, I know your love If I should ever leave, don't close your door.
I should go astray.
And I know your love. I know your love. Sound my chauffeur. If I should ever leave, I know you will. Oh, if I should go, I know your love. If I should, I know your love. I know your love. If I go astray, if I ever oh, please don't close the door on me and mortify. Should go astray. Well, someday, if I should, I wanna come home. I wanna come home. I hear your love calling. I hear your love calling me. Calling me. Come back home. Come back home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Bless you, Queen Doreen, King Raynard, Queen Regina. We're finding out we've been doing some experimenting, huh? We've been experimenting with relationships. Saying I do, and hopefully it did. But it didn't. Or just things that we need to learn in relationships according to the Most High Yah. Did we really seek the Most High Yah in our relationships? Did we really? Did we really seek him? Or we just, got with this person, we fell in love and we just said, I do. Or we got with this person and we decided we just gonna move in with him. We're gonna test the waters. We're gonna live together first, which we know that's all out of order. We knew that wasn't gonna work from living with somebody. And that's the reason why folks end up living with somebody for 30 years and never get married. Because they experimenting, hoping that it's gonna work out. So aren't you glad right now in the season of our lives? I'm so glad this teaching this morning is like, it's not too late. It's not too late. The Most High Yah is a Yah of restoration. But now you got to get this wisdom. And you got to get a revelation of his word. And it's coming tomorrow. We got to get a wisdom and revelation of his word. Wisdom and revelation. Because it's time for us to apply things to our life, y'all. It's time for excuses on, well, I just done gave up on relationships. I gave up on marriage. I ain't going to never be married, blah, blah, blah. We can't do that. The Most High Yah purpose for male and female. He purposed some things for us. And we need to walk in our purpose. If we're going to do it his way, we're going to have to go back to the manual, the Torah. We have to read his word from Genesis to Revelation. How did he create man? Some men don't even know how they are supposed to function in that. I mean, we looked at, this teaching, it takes you back over the century, the 21st century man. What were we doing before the 21st century? He had a role. Men play certain role. He was the one who went out and worked, brought the food home. He was the provider. He was the protector. Now the roles have changed, child. Women are working too. We come home and the husband's like, where the food out? I thought you was cooking tonight. The roles are like changing. But we have to go back to the purpose. Because if we don't know the purpose of marriage, we're abusing it, y'all. We're abusing it and we're misusing it. We have to go back to purpose. Because it's not too late. Child, we can still get married in our 50s. You better say it's not too late. But you got to make the right decision. Yeah, you got a bunch of choices, but you got to make the right decision. And he has to be in the presence of Yah, period. He got to be in the word more than you in the word. He got to pray more than you. He got to know the word more than you know it. Because instructions was given to Adam first. Eve wasn't around. The instructions was given to Adam first. Adam was in the presence of the Most High Yah. Don't ever forget that. He got the instructions first. So, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be learning. I am so thankful that the Most High is teaching us. Yeah. And when you think about it, women, I know I said it 1,000 times. I'm tired of being a man and a woman. Now, shoot, I am the woman. You ain't got to worry about me. Oh, she's trying to be in control. Lead. I will follow. Lead. So serious. We have to get to a point where we're following the instructions of the Most High Yah. And if folks ain't lining up with the word, y'all, why are y'all attracted to that? He is not attractive. He is not in the word. He ain't attractive at all. Child. Shoot, he could be looking like number 87, Travis. Child, if he ain't in that Torah, he is not attractive. Number 87 on Kansas City. Y'all can kind of look him up if you want to. But anyway, if he ain't walking in the word, child, get out of here. I don't care how he look. He is not attractive if he ain't walking as Yah will tell him to walk. Period. That's just the bottom line. That is the bottom line. Who up in here telling my son good morning? Isha. You late girl. Okay. So I'm thankful for this teaching. Doreen started laughing. Girl, look up number 87 for real. I ain't playing. Regina, look up number 87 for Kansas City. I'm messing with y'all this morning. Hey there, King Raynard. Look them up, child. Look them up. So we have to begin to walk in his purpose. The Most High Yah's purpose will prevail. He has to be in the Word. And he has to, love his wife. That word kept saying that over and over again. Husbands, love your wife. Husbands, love your wife. Husbands, love your wife. There is nowhere in the Bible that the Most High Yah told the wife to love her husband. He told her to honor him. So it must be a hard thing for y'all to love y'all wife. He had to tell y'all over and over again. Husbands, love your wife. Husbands, you ought to love your wife. Husbands, love your wife like you love yourself. So he knew how he made Eve, child. He knew Eve, sometimes she ain't know how to get on her. And she'll say some stuff she shouldn't say. And you just love her. You just love on her, Adam. You love on Eve. Sometimes Eve can have a little mouth on her. Love on Eve. Love her. Just love on her. So I'm thankful that we are being taught. We're being taught. And the word even says, husbands, deal with her differently because she is of a weaker vessel. Now, not meaning that the woman is weak. Meaning that she could rise up and say some stuff, but you won't deal with her because she's of the weaker vessel, even though she got a mouth on her. Just love her. If men would get that part, relationships would last forever. Men are like, okay, Dr. J, so she could just say anything to us? No. But if you're loving her, she should want to just say any old thing to you. Come on, Queen Isha. If you loving her, she shouldn't want to just say any old thing to you. Now, look, remember, what is a woman? She is a receiver. You are a giver, husband. So whatever you give her, she gonna multiply it and give it back to you. So if you give her frustration, stop wondering why you getting hell. Because you done gave frustration. So now we're going to have to multiply that frustration and give you some hell. I'm talking about all hell going to be breaking out for a minute. And don't forget, he put a memory in here. We don't forget. So when you realize how the woman is made, men, I'm so serious, kings, right now. Y'all should be learning some stuff. When you know how the woman is made, you don't say certain things to her. You know she ain't going to never forget. Look like you gained a little weight. Huh? What? What you say? No, baby, what I'm saying is, why don't we start working out together? Okay, we can do that. But you don't be telling a woman she gained some weight. Just say, hey, let's start working out together. We're going to assume in our own head, this fool say I'm gaining weight. So, husbands, love your wives. It's a command. He told you over 7 times. Paul said it over and over again. Husbands, love your wives. Love your wives. Husbands, love your wives. And women, honor your husbands. That means be quiet sometimes. Sometimes you talk a little bit too much. Be quiet. Meditate on the word day and night. So we're learning in this relationships. We're learning. Ooh, and especially us as Black women, I won't give you a piece of my mind. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about this. You know what? Since this relationship series been going on with 5 a.m. prayer, a lot of relationship movies been coming out. If you get a chance, watch that movie on Netflix called Malcolm and Marie. If you haven't seen it yet. Yeah, Malcolm and Marie. Now, I'm going to tell you this. It's not a love story. It's a story of love. So a lot of people go and watch Malcolm and Maria. I have watched it already. It just came out. They're like, oh my goodness, they argue the whole time. It's not a love story. It's a story about love. Through all your getting, get an understanding. All right now, Most High. May the Most High Yah bless you and keep you. May the Most High Yah make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Most High Yah lift up his kindness upon you and give you his peace. Shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, Queen Doreen. I miss you. Love you, beautiful. Shalom, Queen Regina. I love you, girl. Shalom, Isha. Love you, beautiful one. King Reynard. Who else is in here? I saw Queen Stephanie earlier. Bless you. Bless you, King Stefan. Love your wife. Love your wife. Love your wife. Boom. All right. I love you, love you, love you. So get to the blog spot, get to Facebook, get to YouTube. It will encourage you. And if you have not subscribed to 5 a.m. prayer, hit that subscribe button on 5 a.m. prayer on YouTube. I love you, love you, love you. Oh, I love you. You know I love you. Bye now. So good. So good.